Jock Journal Radio. Jock Journal Radio brings you NFL Talk Late Night. Just two hardcore fans talking football after their kids have gone to bed, and they invite you to join our conversation. If there's a hot topic or even a cold topic, these chumps will be drawing it up every night. So leave those nudie sites alone and call us. And if you're lucky, they might give you my number. NFL Talk Late Night from Jock Journal Radio.
Happy holidays, Jock Stars. Here we are on a Tuesday doing the part 2 of our Week 14 recap. And oh my gosh, my kid is finally out of school. The holiday vacations have begun. People are out and about and the roads are crazy. People are complete jerks. Everybody's stressed out to the max. But before we begin, I'm Nash.
And I'm Matt.
And you're listening to NFL Talk. So guys,
wait, your kid just got out today of for Christmas break?
Yeah, get this too.
Who lets their kid out on a Tuesday? What is wrong with the schools there?
Well, you know, they got all these weird breaks. They actually start all the way on like August 1st, actually, believe it or not. And their school year goes to like May 28th. So it's like a really, really long school year comparatively, and they have like mid fall break, 2 spring breaks. It's a very different thing. It's almost like going to school all year round, but quite not.
God, that so sucks to be in school in 2015. I'm so grateful that I went to school when we started at a reasonable time and they let us out. We didn't have core testing. It was like, did you show up for school and you did a half-assed job? Okay, great. Have a great time. You're done.
I know. But my the teachers these days are so nice. Jory's teacher, Mrs. Bowles, she gave him 2 like hardback brand new books that were like from the Avengers and Monsters Inc. And they're like really nice, books that you typically find for like $20 somewhere. I don't know. She probably got them at Walmart for like $5 a piece or something like that. But they're really, really nice looking books. And then with a bag and and like a Christmas ornament. I mean, the kid was just hooked up beyond belief, which is really cool. We're gonna have to go get her like a gift card to like the Olive Garden or something to kind of return the favor. But I can't believe what's going on with holiday breaks. I can't believe all the stress. People are actually in the line to pick up their kids, honking at each other because people are just stressed to the max. Let me ask you, how stressed are you now that you've been on the road for 1,400 miles?
Yeah, so we are here. I'm broadcasting live from Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, and not super stressed. It's hard. We have a 10, a 7-year-old, and a 2-year-old in the car, and they all did really good, to be honest. Most of the time, at the end of the day, you're just tired, you're hungry. And we haven't had time. We've been staying at different places, and we haven't really had time to get settled in. So that's a lot of it. Now that I'm sitting in a comfortable bed and okay, I feel much, much better, and my stress level is going down. And anytime you're going on vacation, it's like we went out to dinner tonight to this pizza place right around the corner here, and it's like this resort town. The food wasn't great. The guy wasn't nice. He was okay. He was a waiter in a small town on the off season. I don't know if I have to say any more than that, but and it was like $95 for dinner. So it is what it is. Oh yeah, for pizza and pasta and some other stuff, and then the kids half the time they don't even want what they order, and it's just by the end of the day you're all tired, and it's like it's nice to be at home. But we've had a great time, and we've had some good bonding moments, and that's worth it. So the stress level is lowering again. And at the end of the day, you have to remember this, and I think this is not just important for us, but for everyone. Money is just a means to an end, right? It is just, who cares about it? It is just something that you'd use to get other things, to get memories, or to pay for your place to live. It's just, I feel like we get so obsessed in saving money and having, because that's where our security lies, when in reality, my security is not in that. This is just a means to an end. And ever since I've had that attitude, things have been really good. So I won't get on a soapbox about it, but that I think is a real key to just going and having a good time and not worrying. And especially through the holidays too, right? It's not about how much we give or how much we get. It's just about trying to have a good time and brighten someone's day. So
absolutely. No, that's a good take on it. And I refuse to be a slave to money, and I refuse to be a slave to the man, which is why I continue to remain self-employed almost any chance I get. But I have to ask you, was the pizza last night and for those who don't know, Matt actually stopped into Oklahoma City on his way up from Austin. We had dinner at this place called Gaddy Town, which is kind of like what would happen if like CC's Pizza and Chuck E. Cheese's were to get together and have a baby. The pizza was terrible, and there was lots of games and crazy rides and stuff like that. But was the pizza better there than it was at Gaddy Town? Because Gaddy Town pizza is terrible.
No, it wasn't much better. But here's the thing about Gaddy Town that kills me, and I said it that night. F those tickets. Those tickets are the bane of my existence. You take your kids to this place. We spend $60 on to try, and then it's like you got these cards, and they're all playing these games. And as the kid gets older, it's like you know what it is? It's a kid casino, and it's horrible. I just hate it because they get obsessed with these tickets. And with the ticket, you play for 3 hours to win, 500 tickets, and you buy something that I could go to the dollar store and buy something for $3 that's better than that. And it's just this obsession. And by the end of the night, I'm so bitter. I just won't go in there anymore to any places like that because I hate the whole ticket frenzy. Yes. And then you're tired and you've been there and they're trying to spend, what do I get with the tickets? And it's 30 minutes to what do you get with the goddamn tickets? By the end of that thing, I'm like, I can't take this anymore. I can't do these tickets anymore. I just can't do it. So, it's good, but it just is a kid casino and they're so ruthless. I would much rather go eat somewhere and have, here's the difference of that. We went to my mother's house and we stayed in Kansas City, and outside of Kansas City, she has a farm, and those kids entertained themselves and had more fun going outside and throwing sticks around in the freezing cold weather out there on this huge property. And they went out there and they played with sticks for 2 hours and came in winded and tired. To me, money well spent. That is fantastic. And you can go out there and have more fun doing something like that than you can in one of those kid casinos, because it just makes, it just feeds the kids what we all have to deal with. And as kids, they shouldn't have to experience it so young,
They really shouldn't. Guys, just so you know, we'll be taking calls all night long, and we'll be taking your calls, 405-562-5463. But tonight we're going to be playing Shock the Jock just like we are every night, and now we need to talk about what we want to hear from you. We want to hear about the best place that you should go for a holiday vacation. I'm not talking about summer vacation. I'm talking about during Christmas. Travel during Christmas is already hellacious. People tend to hate it. And I would typically think the best place to go would be somewhere warm climate, like the Bahamas. But I want to hear what you have to say. So text 77948, type the word text, space, and then your message. And we want to know where you would be interested in spending your holidays if you're going to be out and about and on a holiday vacation somewhere else. So go ahead and give us a call. We'll go ahead and read those on the air. And the most shocking one has that opportunity to possibly receive the $50 gift card we're going to be giving out at the end of the month for your participation on Shock the Jock. So, Matt, we got to start talking about some football. So let's get to the news.
Let's do it.
So these idiots are talking news now? Are they pulling this off of Jock Journal? So I guess this proves they can read. What a joke.
Okay, so the first one, we were talking about cold weather, and no place is colder than Soldier Field, but Kirk Cousins was able to come into good old Soldier Field and warm it up, as he actually was able to win a game on the road. I thought this was a great thing. Kirk Cousins was having so much difficulty on the road, and to pull off a game in Soldier Field in December, people are beginning to forget the name RG3.
No. No one's forgetting that name. I mean, I don't know about you. Good. I'm just not a huge Cousins fan, and I think you know that.
I
Great.
do.
This guy beat the Bears on the road. Big deal. The Bears are 5-8. What do you expect? That's not like going out and beating a legitimate team. It's beating the Bears on the road. Not a huge feat. It just isn't, with especially how that Bears team is playing. Kirk Cousins isn't bad. Again, I'm always going to stand by this. He's a Matt Castle. Good for him. That's what I think he is, and that's what I think he'll always be. But I'm glad that I'm glad they got a win.
I don't deny. I really don't. I mean, he's a Matt Castle or a John Kitna or a Brad Johnson type of quarterback. He's not that top tier sort of thing. And I completely concede that point. However, he's a serviceable guy who looks like he has the ability of possibly getting the Washington Redskins into the playoffs. And after 3 years of all the torment that the people of Washington, D.C. have had to deal with, what better gift to be given for this holiday season than possible playoff contention football?
I'd rather take a Philadelphia Eagles and a Giants loss, but neither one of those things happened. They're tied at 6-7, all of them still. So that's what I would have rather had for a gift.
Oh, I'm sure you would have. Well, Cutler, is this, he had good Cutler and bad Cutler both on the same day that day. Is this going to be a case of Jay Cutler probably did enough this year to receive the starting job come next year? Or does Chicago need to go ahead and say, screw this crap, we are done with the Cutler experiment, and begin looking at somebody in the draft? Because David Fales has not prospered and risen from that second level position to go to the possibility of being a starter, which I thought he could have coming out of college. He looked good to me, but apparently he's not able to read defenses to save his life. But what do we got with Cutler?
I think you got the same thing. The team, I mean, it speaks for itself. The team's 5-8. And Cutler is so hard because he's just never seemed to be that quarterback that's going to put you over the edge. But you got to really appreciate his ability and his desire to throw it down. He'll get in there and throw it with the best of them. But he just, what is it about him that gets me? Is it his whining? Is it that it seems like he throws temper tantrums on the field? He reminds me, here, a great analogy. He's exactly like Phillip Rivers. Does that quarterback ever go into the Super Bowl? No. I don't. Unless they have an amazing defense, no, not going to happen.
Okay, a matchup between two quarterbacks that can't get anybody over the edge is San Diego versus KC. Let's take a few moments to talk about that. I know you're thinking KC has been great, but to only get 10 points against the San Diego Chargers at home in Arrowhead, this is not a playoff caliber team at this point.
You're out of your mind. Not a playoff. Hey, they are a playoff caliber team, and they're going to be in the playoffs. So I don't whether you want to call them a playoff caliber team or not. When you're playing in the pouring rain, terrible conditions against a division rival at home, yeah, it's going to be a tough game. I don't care what the records are. And you can't say that. It's the same thing as the Rams come in, a terrible team, and play the Seattle Seahawks super hard every single year and have beat them most of the time when they come in and play them. So don't start saying that the Kansas City Chiefs aren't a playoff caliber team just because a division rival played them tough at home in crappy conditions. That doesn't make any sense at all. They made a couple really good stands. They played well. They did good rushing the ball, and they played good defense, and they held them to a field goal. I'll take that any day of the week, and a win is a win is a win. So next up, go Chiefs.
About 4 inches is the difference between that game being won and lost. Had Danny Woodhead been 4 inches
lost,
long.
You mean tied. Tied.
Okay. But with Phillip Rivers, the way that they were playing, it looked as if San Diego had the momentum on their side.
Yeah,
KC,
and then it didn't work out, right?
Yeah,
because
it didn't.
Kansas City made a goal line stand and a couple really good plays, and then of course Rivers threw a temper tantrum after they got a delay of game penalty down there. Hey, that's what it takes to win. You got to win a tough game, and you got to win the close ones, and some teams are going to play you hard. You got to respect a team that comes in there and plays good, and that defense that's playing just the same at a goal line stand as it is after they've let them come all the way down the field. Good for them. they stuck in there and they did a good job, and they took a W out of that game.
That place was lights out loud. I mean, it was ridiculously loud. But it's the thing that gets me is how the hell in a place that loud with the defense is supposed to be as good as